Come on in and welcome to my home. Today is an actual sort of requested video because I'm going to talk about Patreon. I did not realize that I was going to get a lot of questions, especially over this last weekend, about Patreon. What is it? Why am I using it? Is it going to change the way that I do videos? Alright, so let's address each one of those questions. The first question I want to address is Patreon going to change the way I do videos? Yes and no. Will you always get videos? Yes, because this is my passion. I love making videos for you. I love making videos that you want me to make. That's the cool part about that. Now, what is Patreon? Patreon is this thing that you can then tip your favorite video creator or music creator or movie creator in such a way that you want to just say thank you for that video or make other videos like that, or I love your music. It's a tipping system, sort of. I mean, that's simplistic, but it helps the person who uses Patreon raise more money for whatever projects that they have going. So why am I on Patreon? That one's really simple. I get a lot of requests for all sorts of different videos. I have gotten a lot of requests for making different kind of infused vodkas, those sort of things, and there are a couple things to think about. The videos that you see where I'm baking food and all that stuff, all of that gets usually donated because realistically, there's only my mom and I who are around, so we don't eat all that food. When it comes to the alcohol, the drinks and those sort of things, I rarely, if ever, drink, so I don't even use that stuff, and it keeps piling up and piling up. So I try to do videos that are within my budget. And so why did I join Patreon? Because I want to not have to worry about, will I be able to afford the video that somebody is requesting? I'm now even getting requests for going different places or doing different things around my house, and a lot of those things are going to cost quite a bit of money. So how do I afford to pay for these things? Well, I can't. Unless it's something that I really need to do to my house, you won't see me doing it because it's just something I can't afford. I thought, well, Patreon would be a great way for me to be able to afford to do more of the videos that people want to see me do. So why would I then do this? Why am I on Patreon? And the simple answer, an honest answer, is because I really do want to do bigger things. I want to do bigger videos. I want to get a better camera. I want to have better audio, those sort of things. And Patreon might be a way for me to help. So how do you get involved with Patreon? The answer is quite simple and really important to pay attention to. Patreon, my Patreon is set up monthly. However, if you are even thinking about joining my Patreon, here's what you can expect. The first thing to remember is make sure that you can afford to do this. I don't want you to go out and spend more money than what you can afford. So it needs to be something that you can afford. Do you get extra perks with Patreon? Yes, there are some extra perks. If you click the card, probably up there or up there, I'm not sure, it will take you to the Patreon page, which will show you some of the extra perks. Now, what I've been doing, even though I don't have patrons right now, which is fine, I've actually still been posting on Patreon so that I can get used to posting on Patreon. Because guess what? It is just another social media. And that's the cool thing about Patreon. It is another social media, so you will get to see things that you won't necessarily get to see on any of my other social media. And you'll get previews of what it is that I'm doing. Now, the cool part about this is I'll actually even come to you at some times and ask, hey, would you like to see this kind of thing or that kind of thing, and you can get to help me with those decisions. It's all explained in the different Patreon levels. But I want to stress this, I will still be making videos for you. I'll be making videos that I can afford to make in a way that I can do it. The more money that I raise on Patreon, the easier that it's going to be for me to do those more extraordinary videos, or those videos for things that I myself would not necessarily use, but you would like to see me do. And that's the fun part about this. That is exactly why I did Patreon. So if you're interested, you'll notice down in the links below there is a Patreon link. And also, if you're interested in becoming a person who uses Patreon, you can use my, I think it's some sort of creator invite with a link down there. Battery died. That is a classic Patreon thing. Because, do you have any idea how many batteries I go through? like these guys, I go through tons of them. That's where some of that money also goes to, is getting the equipment that I need to do everything that I need to do. I was surprised by people wanting me to do some product reviews on items that I had never even heard of, had no idea what they were. So yeah, if you're interested in becoming one of my Patreon supporters, please go check out the links down below. I would really appreciate it. Now, if you can't afford it, please do not feel like you have to. I want to stress this. It's just like a tip system, and unlike in some places, I will still be making videos. I will still be living off of what I'm making from AdSense, those sort of things. This is just a bonus to help me do bigger and better things. Now, one of the things which I've sort of hinted about, but I haven't talked a whole lot about, is the fact that yes, one day I have grandiose dreams where I would actually have a whole staff. That'd be cool. But I'd also like to have an area, a studio, where people like me who are getting started in YouTube in this rural area could then actually come in and use a studio space. It would be really cool, because I'm sure that there are other people who would love to make bigger videos, better videos, but we don't live anywhere near a place that we could get to a studio, and we don't have the money for it. So it would be really cool to have a place like that. So those are my big dreams, my immediate dreams, and my simple dreams. But stressing once again, this is just a tip system, it's a bonus system, and even though I haven't gotten anywhere with it so far, which is absolutely fine, it's sort of fun to do, and it keeps me up on making sure that I get all of my videos in all the different social medias, but it's really cool to then give previews of things. So that's what I've been doing. If you have more questions about Patreon or something you want me to talk about or a video that you'd like me to do, let me know down in the comments. If this is your first time here, remember to subscribe. Mondays are question days where I can try to answer your questions or I'll take you someplace. But it's a really fun day where we will do something really cool. Don't forget to check out my latest videos, and I hope I get to see you again tomorrow.